Hi guys, welcome. My name's Maria, Firefly Yoga. So before we start our practice today, make sure you're fit and well. This practice isn't for anyone that is pregnant or that has an injury. So we're going to come over to our mat in a second. We will be practicing the two breath works that we've been practicing recently. The one where we lay down on our mat to start with, and we practice our abdominal breathing. So just remember, guys, as you're breathing in, the belly's going to come out like a big balloon. Feel the chest expand, your ribs expand, and then feel clavicle breathing. You want to feel the air come right underneath your collarbone. So it's a big wave, inhaling. Try and hold your breath at the top for a few seconds, and then as you exhale, just very gently feel everything contract down, and then just bring your belly button slightly back to your spine. It's only a little tiny bit, and then gradually breathe in again. And then throughout our practice, we will be practicing the Ujjayi breath. This is where we constrict the throat. So remember that holding of a mirror. Yeah, that funny sort of Darth Vader sound. Try and do it with your mouth closed, so it would be a... I'm always holding my pretend mirror. So we're going to continue with that. At the end of class today, we're going to add on another breathing technique. So let's come over to our mat. We're going to start by laying down. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and just allow the feet to drop out to the side. You're going to roll your shoulders under, taking your palms to face up. So you've got that big superwoman, superman chest, yeah, really nice and open. So first of all, just take a few seconds, especially if you've been working all day, just take a few seconds to just quieten the mind and just allow yourself to just be. Just breathing naturally. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a big breath in, pushing the belly up like a big balloon, so our abdominal breathing, coming up into the thoracic region, so your ribs are going to come out, your chest will expand, and then as we go up a little further, clavicle breathing, just feel that you can take that last little breath in, lifting up the collarbone. Hold your breath for a few seconds, and then you exhale nice and slow, allowing the chest to drop, the ribs to come in. As the belly drops, just gently pull your belly button back to your spine. So as you're breathing, and do it in your own time, you're drawing down the diaphragm, so you're drawing in as much air as you can, much oxygen. And then when you exhale, by drawing that belly button back, you're pushing up the diaphragm. So you're actually working the muscle. Your diaphragm is a muscle. So just practice one more round in your own time. And every week we'll work a little bit more and more into this breathing until it just becomes second nature to you. So from here, we're going to bring our feet closer together. As your feet come together, draw your toes up to the ceiling so you feel the muscles switch on in your legs. Keep your feet flexed. And then we're going to take the palms to face down and just bring your hands and arms next to your body. Let's bring a little bit of movement into our ankles and into our feet. So we're going to make some circles with the feet. Go in one direction for a couple of rounds and then go back in the other direction. We're then going to hold our feet still, point the toes and take a big inhale, lifting your arms up above your head and then drawing them over the body until you come into a full body stretch. And just notice in your hips, do you feel a little bit of length here? So drawing away with your toes, drawing away with your hands, maybe moving on the left side and the right side, feeling a little bit of movement in the hips. How does your lower back feel? Just noticing how you're feeling all the time. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bring your hands back down to the side of the body. Nice and slow. From here, we're going to bring our feet up. Knees are hip distance apart. Lift your bottom, lift your back, lift your head. So you want to feel your spine, the whole of your spine on the mat here. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, interlace your fingers and bring them to your shin. And just make sure you're bringing your knee into the center of your body. And now very gently just move your knee from side to side. You're just bringing a tiny little bit of mobility into the hip, and you'll notice any little niggles in your lower back. We're going to swap sides. So interlace hands to the shin on the left side, draw the knee into the body, center first, and then gently just allow that leg to move around a little bit. You'll feel it in the hip. You might find you feel a little bit tighter on one side to the other. So just acknowledge how the body feels. And then we're going to bring both legs up and bring your head up to your knees. This time you might want to wrap your whole arms around your legs and just rocking from side to side, just moving. We're going to take the feet back down, bring the arms out side of the body, T shape, and draw your shoulder blades down, drawing the hands out to the sides. A nice big stretch, feeling space between your shoulders. Let's take the legs to the right hand side. So if you have to move around, because we don't want the shoulders to come off of the mat. Big deep breath in. Exhale, softening into the pose. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Just bring your breathing back to neutral. Then we want to change sides. So take a big inhale. When you're exhaling, change sides. Just hold it here. Again, move your shoulders, tuck your chin into your chest. Don't feel like you've got to keep still. All the time, just noticing how you feel. Then come back to the center. We're just going to do some toe taps. So tap, 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 tap. As you're doing this, you'll notice that your abs are switching on. So just tap, 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 tap. Now let's bring the legs out long. So one out long, then the other. Doesn't matter which side you're doing first, just stretching out, stretching out. So they're on a 90-degree angle. And again, you can feel your abs switching on. We're going to hold our legs down. Place your toes back on the floor. Take your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers. So a little bit like doing a crunch. Yeah, we're going to swap legs. I'm sure you've probably done opposite elbow to knee at the gym before. Keep the legs long. If it's too much, then you tap, tap, tap. So we're just warming up the tummy area. Last time, relax down. Keep your knees up. We're going to take our right heel up to the ceiling. So left leg's bent, and just move that foot from side to side. If you can you stretch the left leg long? Doesn't matter if this knee is bent, just try and stretch it as much as you can. If it's too much, then bend and put your foot on the floor. This is the left leg, yeah, bent left leg. Otherwise we're here. We're going to swap. So both knees are bent. Take your hands behind the left leg on the thigh, not on the knee, and stretch the left leg up. Flex your foot. So we maybe want to point and flex and gently move the foot from side to side. As you do this, you feel all the little muscles switch on in the ankle, in the shin. Of course, you can have your foot down if you need to. If you can we take that right leg long? And then bend both knees. Hands to your knees. We're going to open the hips, so just allow the knees to drop out to the side. Hold it here. And then just a little tiny move from side to side. As you build up momentum, you take your knee down, take your right knee down and your left knee. Again, do which side you like, because we're going from side to side. Okay, we're going to roll over to the right hand side. So wherever you're at, come over to the right hand side and just hold it here. Take your hands, I'm going to swap sides, take your hands underneath your head and just hold it for a second. So you're laying on your right hand side. If you've got high blood pressure, lay on your left hand side. And then we're going to gently push ourselves up. Coming onto our mat, tuck your toes under, and we're just going to sit back. We're stretching out our toes. So really push your toes back. Feel the underside of the feet being stretched. Very important that we stretch out our feet. Then we're going to place our hands down, tuck your toes under, and then can you sit back and just very gently lift up your right knee. You're going to feel a big stretch in the front of your foot. So just lift it up and down. Let's do the other side. Lift up and down. Bring your hands out in front. We're coming up into our cat and cow sequence. So remember your breath work. So you drop the belly as you inhale, opening the shoulders, hold it here. And then just exhale and breathe naturally. Just move from side to side. Just feeling how the hips feel. We're going to take a big inhale. When you exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin into your chest. And now, instead of moving side to side, let's move forward and back. So gently forward and back. So I'm drawing my belly button back to my spine. I can feel that my abs are switched on. As I'm coming back, I can really feel a nice stretch in my shoulders and in my lower back. Take your heels down to your bottom. Stretch your arms out in front as much as you can. Big deep breath in. Exhale, try and stretch out that spine. Just taking your eye gaze down. Doesn't matter if your forehead isn't on the mat. You can use one fist on top of the other, placing your head on your fist, or one hand on top of the other hand. Just holding it here. It's a lovely stretch. And then gently we're going to come back up. We're going to just practice the cat and cow one more time, but do it to your own breath. So you inhale and exhale. Use your breath. One more time. And then from here, I'm going to roll all the way up. I'm going to tuck my toes under, coming into half camel. So I'm going to stretch my arms out in front, really feel a big stretch, and then open my arms to the side, arching back. So you've got a little arch in your back here, looking up towards the ceiling. From here, we're coming into a balance. So I'm going to bring my hands into prayer, sit back, and then if you can, you're going to lift up onto your toes, coming into a little balance here. So you can use your hands by all means. And then gently sit back. We're going to come back up. Inhale up. Exhale, open the arms. Again, you can use your hands if you need to, otherwise bring your hands into prayer. Take your fingertips down, lift your knees up and balance. If you can't balance, keep your hands down. We're here. From here, we're going to bring our hands down and we're coming back into a forward fold. So place your heels down. Think about your lower back. Okay, so start with bent knees. If you're nice and flexible in your hamstrings, just come into a forward fold. Otherwise, just hold it here for a few moments. Perhaps stretching out your right leg. Left leg is still bent. And then swapping sides, having the left leg straight and the right leg bent. Can you just be aware of your head? Just make sure it's completely relaxed. So just rock it from side to side. I don't want you to feel any pain in your lower back at all. You can feel your hamstrings stretching, but no pain in the lower back. So as you're moving from being stretched to bent, do you feel a little bit stretchier? Can you move your body from side to side? We're getting a little bit quicker, going from a stretch to a bend. We're going to slightly walk the feet together so the feet are under the hips. Lift your heels, spread your toes, and then let's interlace our fingers and just draw down our hands, feeling that the back is stretching now, the lats. Remember that head, just rock it from side to side. Big deep breath in as you come into your forward fold. Can we come up into a flat back? Remember what I always say, if you ever can remember when you're in front of a mirror, just have a look at your flat back. Come into a mirror, you want your arms straight. My hands generally are over my knees, so I don't want to put too much pressure on my knees. And then equally, I don't want to be looking up. You want to be looking down. Tighten your thighs as well. Pushing your tailbone back. And then we're going to stand all the way up. So just roll round the shoulders. I'm going to draw the hands out in front. Bring the hands up. Hands to your shoulders. We're just going to take a little twist. So just little movements. Try and think about your hips here. Yeah, of course I can swing around, but look, my hips are moving and that doesn't help my knees. So keep your base really strong. Actually, it takes your breath away from you a little bit when you're just using your waist. Can you feel that? Lovely. And then we're just going to bring out our arms in front. Let's just warm up our wrists. We'll go back the other way. Give the hands a little shake out. So I'm going to turn round. We're going to come up to the top end of the mat now. We're going to practice our sun salutations. So sun salutations are a warm-up, but as you progress through a steady sequence of opposing actions, yeah, you're going to strengthen your muscles and gain more flexibility. So let's come up, and today we'll start with our toes touching and our heels slightly a little bit open. So let's hold it here. Remember what I always say, close your eyes and connect. Yeah, mind, body, experience. We're very out of our body, so, and depending on what you've been doing all day, you know, we really need to connect now. So close your eyes, lift your right heel, lift your left heel, draw up your thighs, draw back your knees, lift your toes, feel really powerful. Roll your shoulders back and down, palms face forward, open your hands. Big deep breath in. Let's lift our arms up as high as we can, looking up. Try not to arch the back. Yeah, so you want a long line, but we want to feel some space between the vertebrae. So as we take a big forward fold, try and keep your back flat. So you might need to bend the knees slightly, pushing your bottom back, your tailbone. Let's bring our hands down to the mat. Now we want to feel our forward fold. So let's stretch out the legs. Again, you might need to paddle through both of your legs. And just breathe in, drop in your head. Paddle, paddle, paddle through the legs. Hold it here. We're going to take the right leg, nice big long lunge, place the knee down, release the back toes, okay? Just hold it here. Either come up onto your fingertips or come up onto all your fingertips and your thumb. You want to be dropping down in your hips so you've got that nice long line, and just holding it here. Gently move your leg from side to side and just acknowledge everything that's going on. And then we're going to come back and come forward, come back and forward. If you're sitting in an office chair all day, your hips are just, you know, they're in one position, and you end up with really stiff hips and a sore lower back. So just gently moving, getting some mobility in these hips. Feels good. So from here, we're going to bring up our back leg. Okay, so notice I'm not on my knee. My leg is quite a long way back. If I bring my knee in and I lifted my leg up, I'd be completely on the front of my knee. The more I draw my leg back, when I lift my knee up, I'm more at the front of my thigh. So just be very aware of this. If you've got knee problems, then I suggest you stay here. Otherwise, we're going to bring up this back knee. Opposite hand to foot. So left hand to right foot. And just hold on. Now, if you can't, I just want you to lift up this leg and just experience it. If you can, you might need to bring yourself back, hold on to the foot, and then drop a little bit forward. I'm going to draw my heel back to my bottom. I'm really taking a bit of a twist here. Just hold it here and relax. Just take a few moments coming forward and back, forward and back. And then gently I'm going to walk myself back until I've got a nice flexed foot and a straight left leg. Hold it here. Make sure you're not leaning. Take a little look back. And just make sure that when you come back, you don't do this where you lean. You want to be completely hip bones coming forward. Hold it here. Big inhale. And exhale. So we're going to rock back and forward again. Rocking back and forward. From here, we're going to tap down. We're coming back into our plank. arms, open your fingers, think about your bottom, make sure it's not up in the air. We're not doing a down facing dog, we're doing a plank. So you drop the bottom, slightly tuck your pelvis under. The elbows are not locked out. And think about being long in the back. Sometimes we hold everything with the shoulders. You can be on your knees if you need to. Just hold it here. Then we're going to place the knees down. Tuck your toes under. Push your bottom back until you come onto your forearms. Hold it here. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Feel your arms stretching. Can you feel that nice stretch underneath your arms, like where your armpits are? And then from here, I'm going to drag my nose on the floor as much as I can. So I'm going to take my head down and drag my nose on the floor until I come up into a cobra. It's a bizarre move, I know. Let me show you again. So you're on your forearms. Yeah, and you think about drawing the nose along the mat. The elbows lift, you push down on your hands and you come up. From here, we're going to take ourselves all the way back and just hold it in child's pose, stretching out the arms. Inhale, exhale. From here, tuck your toes under. We're going to come back into a down facing dog. So remember, your down facing dog, you want your feet to be a little bit wider than hip distance. You're pushing down the heels, but at the same time, you're taking your tailbone up to the ceiling. Think about your palms. They really need to be connected, all four corners of your palms. Inhale and exhale. From here, bring your left foot in a tiny little bit, just so it's a little bit more under your hip rather than out to the side. And then draw your right heel up to the ceiling. Now you don't want to go up too high with this leg, because what happens when the leg goes up too far, it's your hip starts turning out to the side. So look back at your foot and your leg. I'm flexing my foot, I can see my knee and my hip bones are pointing down. From here, I want you to bend the knee, bring that leg all the way through into what we call pigeon pose. So you're here. So I'm just going to show you from a front view what we were doing here. So relax and just look at the camera for a second. So we were in a down dog. We then took up our right leg. Now notice, if I went up too high, my hip would lift and I would be turning my body. So you need the leg to be dead straight, and you draw it in, you place it down, and you come and sit down as much as you can. If this is too much, you have two bent legs and you bring yourself forward. So wherever we're at, we now need to be right leg forward, hopefully long left leg, and I'm drawing this left leg back. If you can't do that, you're here. Yeah, one leg here, one leg here. I'm going to come off that black mat because I'm kind of losing myself being all in black. So you'd be here, yeah, and we're just working ourselves forward. Otherwise you've got your leg long. Now just come to wherever you can and relax. And again, you're going to feel this in your hip. Nice stretching out of the hip. Remember, you can use your fists or your hands. Just breathing in and out. Now, I feel quite relaxed in this position, but of course, if you don't, use the Ujjayi breath. If you're struggling to breathe, yeah, so remember that. Yeah, so you want nice long breaths. When you're comfortable in a position, you're going to take long, deep breaths. But when you're uncomfortable, your breath generally stops. So, from here, we need to come back up to the down-facing dog. So the best way to do it is to draw that leg in. Okay, draw it in. Take that right leg back up, place it down. Then once we're here, are we in a good down-facing dog? Could we possibly move the the hands a little bit further back in? Nice big deep breath, in and out. Now we need to bring our right leg through. So just step it through or come onto your knee, bring that right leg through. We're back into that nice long lunge. Tuck your toes. Come back into our forward fold. Feet, bring them together so toes are touching. Heels are slightly apart. Take your time. Drop your head. Bend your knees slightly if you need to. Take your tailbone up to the ceiling. Make sure your head's nice and relaxed. And now we need to come up. So lift your head. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Get that length, make sure that you're not arching your back. Bring your hands into your heart center. Roll your shoulders. So I'm going to swap legs. I'm going to come round to this side. So you just stand in there, get your breath, listen to your breath. Start understanding what makes you tick and where you struggle to breathe and all the different little bits and bobs that are going on. So we're going to do our left leg this time. So come to your top of your mat. Remember, don't just stand there. Have a nice powerful position. Lift your feet, get connected, palms to face forward. Abdominals are tight. Pull up your pelvic floor. Yeah, inhale. Taking your arms all the way up without arching the back. Forward fold, stick your bottom back. Think about that long back as you come down. Bring your hands all the way down. Once you're down, doesn't matter if your knees are bent. Yeah, so now think about pushing your tailbone up. Perhaps stretching and bending the right leg, the left leg. Your head hanging. Can you just hang your head? Are you breathing? Yeah, nice big deep breaths. We're going to do our left leg. Lift up that left leg. Such a big long lunge down. Place the knee down. Release the toes. Come up onto your fingertips or all fingers and your thumb. You know, if you're really struggling to get your hands down, then bring yourself up. As long as you've got a nice long back. Let's hold it here for a second. And just remember what we were doing here. So we're just moving our knee from side to side. Tiny little movement. But can't you feel that in your hips? Oh, that does feel nice. And then forward and back. So gentle little movements, forward and back. And notice, do you feel a little bit tighter on one side to the other side? We're going to come all the way back now. So bring your hands back a little bit. Flex your foot. Instantly, I've rolled over to the left hand side. Bring yourselves back to the centre. Widen your hands if you need to. So you know, and you can look back, I've got both hip bones facing forward. Just hold it here. Feel that stretch. Feel that hamstring. Big deep breath in. Yeah, ujjayi breath if you need to. We're going to roll it back. Just still moving all the time. We're going to lift off that left leg. So that left leg just comes up. Just hold it there if you need to. Think about your knee. Like I said before, you know, you might have to tuck your toe under, bring that knee back a little bit further to make sure that when you lift that foot up, that you're right here, right on the front of your thigh rather than on the actual knee itself. So we lift that leg up. That could just be enough for you. Otherwise it would be right hand to left toes. Walk your hand back. Yeah, you can lift all the way up if you need to. Once you've got hold of that foot, place that hand down and get that nice big opening of the chest. I'm drawing my foot back to my thigh. I can really feel a big quad stretch here. Nice big deep breaths in and out, in and out. Yeah, too much, just release at any time and just be looking over your shoulder. We're going to roll back round. Take your time. Take your time, maybe just do some little circles, little rocks forward and back. We're coming back into our plank. Take your hands down, tuck your toe, back into your plank. If you need to be on your knees for your plank, this is fine. Just make sure you're dropping your bottom, lifting the belly, otherwise we're here. So elbows are slightly bent. We don't want to take all the pressure in our elbows. Palms are down, fingers a little bit wide. Draw up the belly and you kind of, your pelvis comes under. Think about your head. Drop the eye gaze down. Knees down. Push your bottom up. Push, push, push back until our forearms touch down. Can still push back, push back. But as I'm going further back, I feel that big stretch right here, right kind of like underneath where the armpit is. Watch your neck if you've got a neck problem, or take your eye gaze down. Still keep feeling that stretch underneath the arms, through the shoulders as I draw back. Now I'm coming the opposite way. So my elbows are on the mat. So in my forearms, I'm going to drag my nose, not quite going to the floor, drawing through. My elbows are going to start lifting. Yeah, so you get to a certain point, your hands lift, you stretch out, elbows tight to the body. We lift up into cobra. Your cobra could just be down here. Keep your eye gaze down. If you can get more stretch in the back, keep the bottom nice and long. Hold it here, push back, coming back into our child's pose. One hand on top of the other, fist to fist, or just stretching out. Big breaths in and out. From here, we're coming up into our down facing dog. So tuck your toes, make sure your palms are nice and connected. Remember, you can always come back with bent knees if you wish to. Pushing your soles of your feet down as much as you can, taking your tailbone up to the ceiling, holding it here. Move that right foot a little bit inwards to the left, so it's kind of right underneath your hip. I'm going to have to walk forward here because otherwise I'm going to kick my cabinet. Left foot then raises up. Three-legged dog. Notice on my right foot, yeah, don't come up onto your toes. Push the heel down on the right foot. Now look back at the left. You've got flex foot, I can see the knee, I'm not opening up to the side. Yeah, so the foot doesn't go that high. From here, I'm going to draw my knee to my chest as my shoulders come over my hands. Place that foot down, draw that right leg back, coming down. And move around, just gently, gently move around. If this is too much, you bend both legs. So you would be here and you would be coming forward. And let me just show you from the side view. Yes, you would be here. And you might just be here if it's too much for you. You'll feel your hip when it's stretching. And it doesn't matter if it's stretching and you're all the way up here, or if it's stretching and you're right the way back here. Guess what? We're all stretching at this point, aren't we? So use the Ujjayi breath. If you need to, use your Ujjayi breath, practice it. It's always nice to practice when you're feeling relaxed and you can really draw in a nice big deep breath and then inhale and exhale. So I'm just going to move back to my mat. You stay where you are. So we're going to come back to our down facing dog. So bringing yourself up. Bring that right leg in. Yeah, get the pressure off your hip. Get your hands down. First of all, we're going to come back up into three-legged dog with the left leg. So place your foot down, push the left leg up, bring it down, coming into our down facing dog. Now we need to get that left foot through. So either step through, you could help that leg through, or drop down, bring your left foot through. Really dropping forward. Always make sure you've got knee ankle alignment. Hold it here. Tuck that back toe. Coming into our forward fold. Bring your feet closer together, so toes are touching, heels are slightly apart. And then we're going to bend and stretch, dropping the head. Hold it here. Interlace your fingers. Just draw down those hands again. And then let's come up into a flat back. Roll your shoulders back. And we're going to come all the way up. Oh, that felt nice. Just roll around. Okay, so from here, let's practice. Let's do a little balance. So we're going to do dancer's pose today. So we want to take our right arm up. Our left hand is coming in the inside. Actually, no, let's do the outside. We're going to take our left hand to the outside of our left foot. So you've got your right arm up, left hand, lift your foot, take your foot in your hand from the outside, and then you're going to lift up your back knee. I'll show you from this side. So, well, you don't want to collapse the chest. You're lifting your knee away from your body, getting a little arch in your back. Yeah, and just bringing your arms up. Show you from the front. So we don't want to be doing that where the legs coming out to the side. The legs coming back, the hip bones are facing down and the chest is up. Are you breathing? Can we practice the breath? And relax down. So we do have postures where we open our hip, where we come up to the side, but we're trying to keep our hip bones down. So always be like quite heavy in the leg. So let's do the other side. So this time we're going to take the left arm up and the right hand comes to the right foot. So you've got that here and then Coming forward, lifting up that right knee. Should be from the back. So practice your breath. So make sure the knee goes back in a straight line. Your hip bones are facing down, so you need to be quite heavy on your right hand side. Slight bend in the standing leg. And then draw yourself all the way up. Well done. So we're going to practice a Hindi squat. So with our Hindi squat, it's a bit, depends on your hips, how wide your feet need to be. If you've got a block, this will come in handy. If you haven't, don't worry. So we're going to take our feet to the side of the mat and we're coming down, bringing our bottom down. Notice that my heels stay on the floor. I bring my hands into prayer and my spine is nice and straight. So it's a big hip opener here. So if this is too much, think about spine, just come down. Oh, you're still opening your hips, but you want that spine straight. There is no good being down here and having yourself all bent over. Have a look at this block. I can put my heels on the block and then sit down. This helps my spine to be long, and if you can't get your heels down, it'll balance you. You could also use your block to hold on if you needed something to hold on to. But don't worry if you're not down, you could just do a squat. Once you're here, press the palms of your hands together, drawing out the knees to the side. You're drawing up your pelvic floor. Using your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, so if you're up here, we're just holding it here. Remember, keep your spine straight. Big inhale and exhale. And then everyone relax. We're going to bring our bottoms down to the mat. Let's just hold it here. So we'll work on the Hindi squat. Maybe if you've got like, I don't know, like a hard box or something, you could put your heels on a block if you haven't got one. It doesn't work with a cushion, it has to be something that's a little bit hard. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into a forward fold. So be very aware when you do your forward fold. If you haven't got really flexible hamstrings or a tight back, sometimes we can really pull our back if we're not bending our knees. Yeah, so keep your knees bent and think about this long spine all the time. Bringing your flesh back, feet in front of you, flexing your feet. And notice that I'm trying to keep my spine long. Tuck your head or your chin in a little bit. Yeah, coming forward. I'm not going to drop my head. If I drop my head and my shoulders, there's no way I'm going to be able to breathe properly. So we're coming up, making sure that we're breathing in. If we're working on our stretch, we need lots of oxygen coming into the body. And then just take your legs long. Maybe stretch one and then keep the other one bent, one stretched, until you feel like you're getting a little bit more length in the hamstrings. From here, we're going to take our right leg, we're going to take it over. My foot, my right foot is down on the mat. Draw it up as much as you can. Flex the left foot, so nice strong leg. Toes up to the ceiling, knees in the correct position. And then my left arm, the crease of my arm, I'm going to lock it around the top of my knee gently. Place your hand down or fingertips down, getting that stretch in the back, so length in the back, and then taking a little twist towards the right side. So I'm twisting towards my knee. And just breathe in, feeling the stretch in your outside hip and your glutes. Hold it here. Now if you want a little more, take your left leg and bend it round to the right hand side, so it would come behind you. I don't want to sit on my foot, so lift yourself up, get yourself into position, and then come back round. Just be aware that sometimes when you bring that left foot round, your bottom lifts, and then you're doing this where your spine's all crunched up and not very straight. So get yourself into position, lift and sit those sitting bones down, knee in the crease of your arm, and just hold it here. Keep your head up, yeah, again, we don't want to collapse the chest. Just hold it here. And relax. Let's bring our feet together. They're quite a long way away in a diamond shape to start. So just bring yourself forward. Just a gentle little stretch. Notice that I've got a curve in my spine. This is fine. I'm going to drop my head down. I'm really rolling back so I can feel big stretches all across my back. Top of back, lower back. And then relax. We're going to stretch out our legs, come into our forward fold again. So think about bringing back the flesh, holding. You can use your two fingers, yeah, first and second finger. Wrap them around your big toe. Inhale, exhale, stretching out as you go. Try and keep your back nice and long. So just feel that initial reaction with your stretch, your posture, yeah? So as we process all these little movements in our body, when we evolve into the pose, it's all about self-study yoga. So I'm really studying everything I'm doing all the time. And every day is different. Every day is different. You know, some days you feel stretchy, some days your back's tight. So just roll your shoulders around here. So let's do the other side. So now this time, your left leg's going to come up. It's going to come over. I'm going to draw it back as much as I can. My foot is flat on the floor, so this is my left leg going over. Right arm, crease of my arm, I'm going to wrap it around that left knee and then bring myself into a nice long spine, taking a twist to the left hand side. The right foot is flexed, the knee is protected, it's going up to the ceiling. Use your breath. Should we practice to use your breath? Yeah? So let's breathe in. Constricting that throat as you go. Draw your belly in. Nice long breath. Then we exhale. Yeah, that ocean breath. So to add to this, we're going to take the right foot, we're going to take it back to the left. So make sure you're not sitting on the heel of the left foot. You might need to lift yourself up and back. We've got both sitting bones on the mat. Right arm, crease, the knee of the left leg goes into the crease. And then think about nice long spine. Can you feel those hips? So as you relax into it, as you breathe into the posture, keep that head up. Practice that Ujjayi breath. It should just be you that can hear this breath. I'm being very dramatic so you can hear it, but it's just that little sound in the back of your throat, and that means you're connecting because you can hear your breath. Lovely. Let's bring our legs out. Take your time. This time we're coming with our feet together, soles of feet together, but they're closer to our body. So just see how close you can get your heels. Take your hands behind you and just rock your knees from side to side or gently up and down like little butterfly wings. Lovely. And then just see how much you can get your knees to come down. And then very gently, you're going to bring your legs out. We're going to come on to our bellies. So bring yourself over. Just notice how your lower back feels. We've done a lot of forward folds. So we need to counterbalance that by doing a few little baby back bends and whatnot. So we're going to take our hands down, one hand on top of the other. Just rock your bottom from side to side. Nice big deep breaths in and out. And now we're going to come up into the Sphinx. So think of the Egyptian dog. Yeah, the Sphinx. Bring your hands up. Forearms are on the floor. Your elbow needs to be under your shoulders. You might need to fiddle around a little bit. And then keep your eye gaze down. Now, if you feel okay in this position, try and relax. Try and allow the back to gently arch. If you want more, you're going to stretch the arms a little bit. Don't lock out the elbows. And then if you want more, you can take your head up. If you want more, we bring our feet off. If you can get your soles of your feet to the back of your head, good for you. And then relax. The feet come down. And down, turn the head down, take your head to your hands, just move your bottom from side to side. So from here, we're just going to come back up. Take your time, just to stretch out that back a little bit. Come back into child's pose. You can have your knees wide or your knees together. Entirely up to you. See what feels good for your back. And just hold it here. Okay, we're going to come up. Right, we're going to practice a little shoulder stretch. If you get confused with this, I suggest you just relax because it can get a little bit confusing, but we'll have a go. So we've got our arms out to the side. Take your forehead down. Just move your bottom from side to side. So I want you to keep your, I'm going to do the left side first because I'm facing that way. Keep your left arm where it is and bend your right knee, toes up to the ceiling. Your right hand, come up into your fingertips, and then I want you to roll over to the left, just a tiny bit until you feel a stretch in your shoulder. And then relax all the way back. Did you feel that stretch in the shoulder? Okay, we're going to do the other side. So this time the right hand stays where it is. Bring your left hand up onto your fingertips. Take your toes up to on the left foot. So you're bent on a bent left knee. Toes up to the ceiling. That's your left side. And now gently, you're rolling over to the right. And you're going to feel just a slight little stretch in your shoulder and actually a little spinal twist. And then roll back. Well done. Bring your hands out in front. So we're going to come up now, girls and boys. Oh, push yourself back up. Let's just practice a cat-cow. So remember, this is cat, shoulders up. Inhale when you're in cow. This is when your back's arched. Move your bottom from side to side. Exhale in cow. And then we're going to sit back on our heels. Oh, lovely. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to just finish with a different breath work called the Nadi Shodhana, and it's alternate nostril breathing. I'm going to come a little closer. I'm going to come and sit on a block. So if you haven't got a block, come sit on a cushion. You've got options. You can sit up against your wall. You can sit cross-legged. You can use a cushion. I'll just show you. Sit on a cushion like so, with your knees coming back. Just get comfortable. So we're going to practice this alternate nostril breathing, and this is an absolute brilliant breath work if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling like you need to calm yourself down. We're breathing through one nostril to the other nostril, back and forth, yeah? So I'll go into a little bit more of it another time, but we're just going to have a couple of rounds of this breath and we're going to work on this every week. Don't worry if you can't get the hand positions. I'm going to talk you through it. So we're not mirroring each other at the moment. So this is left hand and you're touching thumb to first finger. So you're making that sort of birdie shape, and then you're going to stretch your fingers out and your hand sits on your knee. I don't know if you can see me. I might have to come back a little bit further. Yeah, so you would be like this. Yeah, thumb to first finger, arm stretches out. Your right hand, you're going to take down your first and second finger and it sits on the paddy bit of your thumb. So notice I've got my thumb sticking out and my little finger sticking out. And my ring finger is kind of coming out straight because it won't stretch up. So my thumb is going to sit on my right nostril. Not the little finger, so not the little finger that's sticking out. Think about your ring finger. Can that sit on your left nostril? So right thumb on your right nostril, ring finger on your left nostril. So just have a little practice going from thumb to ring finger, thumb to ring finger. Okay, so keep here, keep your fingers here, thumb, ring finger, thumb, ring finger. So I'm just going to come back a little bit because I want you to see how I'm sitting. So here and here. So keep your thumb and your ring finger near your nostrils. Take them away from your nose. Take a big deep breath in and then exhale. Place your thumb on your right nostril, breathe in through your left. So breathe in. Nice long breath. Close your left nostril with your ring finger. Hold your breath. Release the right nostril and now exhale through the right. Big exhale. Inhale through the right. Close that right side. Hold your breath for a few seconds. Release the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through your left. Close that left side. Hold your breath for a few seconds. Then exhale through the right. Inhale through your right. Close that right side, hold your breath for a few seconds, then exhale through your left. So I want you to do one round by yourself. So close your eyes. You're going to inhale through your left hand side. Keep your eyes closed, keep your spine long. Close that left side. Exhale through your right. In your own time, exhale. In your own time, inhale through your right. We're going to finish with the exhale on the left. So when you've exhaled on that left hand side, keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands down to your knees, so both palms to face up. Release both fingers. Keep your eyes closed. I want you to bring your hands together now. Keep your eyes closed if you can. I'm going to say Om Shanti, which means peace, and Namaste. Thank you for joining me. We've had a lovely practice. Hope to see you next time. We will continue working on our different breathing techniques. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.